I don't have an intro yet, so look at this cute stock photo of a puppy.
Hello and welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we'll be looking at my Bumblebee transformer. This transformer didn't take me very long. It only took, I actually don't remember because it was a few years ago, but it probably took me like a week. I was a pretty slow builder back then, but I keep him around for nostalgia. He was one of my first transformers that I made along with a couple of bad ones. But I like his car mode. I went with the 2007 look. The stripe in the middle is a little thick, but with 4 studs, it was about all you get with the even number of studs width. As you can see, his arms poke out a little bit as well on the sides, but if anything, I kind of like it because if you take them off, he seems a little bit thin. And then, yes, you have those big gaps right there, which I suppose I could have fit an arm in there. But then again, this was a long time ago. I've gotten better at it now. In fact, I might actually make an updated version of him in the future. As you can see, he's got a front grille, no headlights, but I wanted to keep it simple and clean. The bottom is pretty clean as well, not a whole bunch of kibble poking out. I did use ball joints for some of him, which I don't usually like to. I like to be more creative with my articulation, but it just seemed much easier in this way. His front wheels don't actually touch the ground because of them, but I used black tiles right here to sort of help it blend in and hide from the eye. As you can see, I've used dark blue for the windshield, and I used to have it as black, but I feel like it blended in with the black stripe too much. Of course, the stripe does stop right here, but because the way that these are built, I would have to have this as one piece instead of, black and then yellow on the outside. As well, you have the back, right? No tail lights again, but that's purely because I wanted to keep it clean. And these become the bottom of his feet, so I didn't want him unbalanced. Another thing is his wheels. I do like his wheels because they don't seem to be poking out too much, but sadly, these back ones are the ones with holes in the middle. Sadly, I don't have enough of these 2x2 round tiles to go around, so I had to use the ones with the hole in the middle. I did use jumper plates on the side for structural stability. But other than that, there's his car mode, the 2007 version. And now let's get to transformation. So the first thing you want to do is bring out the arms all the way, like so. And that'll give you room to swing out the legs completely, and his head falls down because this piece is a little worn out. But then what you want to do is down here, they're connected, you can't see them, but they're connected like this, right? You have a Technic hole and a stud. And then you want to twist them, okay. Hold on, it's being frustrating. There we go. You want to twist around the feet right there, so the wheels point on the inside, like so. And then what you want to do is you come down to his feet, and then you actually twist these tiles outward, so they go farther down, revealing his toes. And that will basically make him stand. One last thing is you want to move these wheels down, like so. Just spin them downward. That way it locks this tile in place and it leaves room for the ankle pivot. And now that you have them standing, you can move down the arms. And then what you want to do is move up these wheels into this corner. Same on the other side. Move them up into the corner. And then when you go to his back, you'll realize that these are on another hinge that you can swing out, and these will become his wings, right? And now this entire section right here, you actually want to sort of you want to delicately move this wrench piece so it is aligned with the clip, and that'll give it enough room to twist around on this jumper plate, like so. Flip out his head, and then you twist around his head to reveal like that. And I might actually zoom out a little bit for this. So there's his head. In fact, you may even want to push up it a little more than what it used to be. Make sure everything's aligned. And then for the last part, we want to finish his wings. So while holding this stud right here, you want to twist this entire section up here to just like at a slight angle, like that. And then you want to do it the same over here to be parallel. And now that they line up perfectly, you can bring them to the middle to touch his neck. And then you bring them up slightly while rotating them as well. And then you have his wings. And now that we finally finished his transformation, you can see that he has his wings. And in the movies, the car doors become his wings, but the car doors become his arms in this one, and the windshield becomes his wings. I've seen this technique used by a couple people, but I really like rollouts technique of using the front and then making a fake front for it. So yeah, there's that. His legs, for articulation, his legs are... For his legs, they have some mobility. They have a waist swivel, so they can completely swivel outward, forward, and backward. He does not have a leg joint, which I probably could have fit in at some point, but then again, I was not as good of a builder as I am now, so I didn't really take that into consideration. His ankles have a pretty nice pivot. They can go outward, inward, and somewhat forward and back. So that's for both of them. So you can get some pretty good posability out of his legs. His arms are really great, and this is actually a technique that I use quite often still. It's two of these black hinge pieces, and because they're round, they can completely move separate from each other. And then on the back, and then at the end of this one, you can actually clip a hinge for his lower forearm. And for his shoulder, it does not move upward, but then again with this, you can get so much more posability. And it's on a forward hinge, you can make him point forward, back, up, down, and considering he has an elbow, a sort of stranger elbow, because he sort of has two elbows, one right there and one right there. Which honestly gives a lot of posability. His head is sort of a tricky one because it can move side to side. Oh, but it is very fragile, especially considering how far you have to move the wrench piece in the back for the head to fit. And yes, it can sort of look up and down, not down really, but up is a good one. If you move the wrench piece down a little bit, then it forces the head up, sort of, which I actually kind of like. There's a little gap right there, but this actually used to be light gray, and I changed it to black to blend in with the stripe going down his chest. He's not super pretty from the back, a lot of anti-studs. And it seems like he's not balancing correctly, but then again, this back is just a curved piece of paper, so there's that. Yeah, so not a lot of color on his back, kind of ugly, but honestly, this was just a fast build that I made for one of my first Transformers. That's about all, and thanks for watching.